What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for dropping into another video. My name is Josh, and I am just your average Joe day trader. Well, guys, happy 4th of July. It is July 4th, Friday morning, and the market is closed. And I'm having some Joneses right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I love my first thing early morning look at the market to see what the S&P 500 is doing. I love to see the stocks based on algorithms and based on hedge funds and institutional buying and selling. I love to see the stocks bump up and bump down on the 15-minute and half-hour mark. If you didn't know that, take one morning and watch APLD, Applied Digital, and just about every half hour, you usually have some sort of a bump up or a bump down. And it's kind of fun to watch because you literally in the pre-market could see APLD at, say, $9.82. 8 o'clock hits, bam, it jumps up to $10.15, and then it drops back down to $9.82 or whatever it was at. And it's kind of just fun to watch because there's just, that the buy orders, sell orders, and all that are kicking in and out. And that's why you have to be so careful in the morning when you get in and out of an entry point, exit point for a trade, because bottom line is that the institutions are having their way with those stocks a lot of times, and you can really get caught in the crossfire. And say you decide to buy into a stock, at $10, and all of a sudden and say that's at 8:45, and then 9 o'clock, half hour before market opens, a large sell order kicks in, from an institution, a hedge fund, whatever it's going to be. Then you'll end up dropping down 50 cents a share, and you're like, what the heck just happened? And now you're sitting to recover on it. So you got to be super, super careful. But anyway, the point of this video, since we are closed, since it is 4th of July, and I'm really looking forward to getting home today. I'm going to be spending some time with the family. We're going to run around my neighborhood in our golf cart, just kind of see the fireworks. Pretty excited just to have a chill day and then going into the weekend. Got a lot going on this weekend. It's my granddaughter's 2-year birthday party, my nephew's 16th birthday party. So Saturday, Sunday, we're pretty much going to be partying it up, and looking forward to that. But I'm going to try to steal a couple hours downtime too, if I can. So the purpose of this video today, with all that said, is I want to share and talk to you a little bit about a stock that I have been day trading for about the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks almost. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about it as an investment. I've done a lot of research, and I've been tracking and trending and just sort of understanding this company itself. I want to share with you guys, not from the perspective of a day trade, although I will tell you, most likely I will continue to day trade it while it's under $10 per share. But I'm also going to open up a position on it for a long-term hold in one of my other accounts. And if you watch my other videos, you know that I day trade all the time on my Webull account. I have longer term holds on my Robinhood and my E-Trade account, and my obviously bigger accounts, retirement accounts, Merrill Lynch, etc. But the company I want to share and talk to you about a little bit more, and we're going to get into some of the details about it and why I think this is an awesome company, not just for day trading, because it is still on my list for the best day trade stocks. And let's actually take a quick second. I'm going to put up on the screen my 4 lists of the best day trade stocks. I've got my average Joe day trade everyday list, and that's this one right here. And if you need to pause the video to go ahead and write these down, please do that. And then I have my newer list, which I change up once about every week, 2 weeks, based on volatility, based on what's happening with the market, based on trends. The next list I have for you guys is basically my new list. So I change this list about once every 2 weeks. I am tracking and trending stocks for what is the best day trade stock opportunities for us, right? Because I'm in and out of them. And I'm sharing with you, not as financial advice, but more to give you some ideas of what stocks you want to be looking at doing your own homework, doing your own research. But this list, like I said, I update about once every 2 weeks. And this list has 3 parts. So I'm going to show you each of those 3 parts. And again, pause the screen when I get to them if you want to take a minute to write them down. But I have just my common best day trade stocks, which is this list right here. And then I have my secondary list, which are the higher volatility, medium price range stocks. And there's not many of them right now, but it's these stocks right here. And then I have my high dollar, high movers, which include some stocks like Tesla, etc. And that's that list here. And so again, pause if you want to go ahead and write those down. But these are all great stocks, great companies I've been researching and tracking, not just over 30 days, some of them for over a year, and just still monitoring and maintaining, understanding their trend lines, understanding support and resistance levels. And obviously, for me personally, you want to understand, and I love to understand my candlestick patterns so I know best entry point, best exit point so that I can get in and out of them every day and make some money. Now, it's important to understand sometimes you may get into a day trade, and if you hold too long and you don't get out, yes, you're going to need to swing that into the next day. You might end up bag holding it for a day or two. But guys, that's okay, all right? Because these companies are not companies that really are going anywhere. These are not quick, jump up companies based on earnings or based on, the newest thing or rumors or et cetera. These are companies that have been around, they're established, they're good companies. So take a look at those lists, do some research homework, and make some decisions on those. But the one I'm going to share with you today, and it is on my best day trade stock list, the one I want to share with you today is BigBear.AI, BBAI, okay? Now, I'm going to admit to you that about a year ago, I was day trading with a group of guys in a Discord that I belong to, not my own Discord, but I was day trading BBAI. And a lot of guys were like, hey, you need to get into BBAI, hold BBAI, and this is a really good stock, and you're going to be really excited about it, potentially even a good long-term stock. There's a lot of growth potential to the stock. And I was like, yeah, okay, So I started day trading it, and I was making some decent money. And then it was in like the $3-4 range, and then it literally shot up. It tripled and went over $9, like over $10. I think it had a high of 10, 12, 10, 15, somewhere around there. And I was like, you know what, guys, I'm going to grab this stock and I'm going to actually hold it as a longer term investment and just see kind of what happens with it. So I purchased, I think at the time I purchased maybe like 250 or 500 shares of it. I don't remember right now. And I just left it in my Robinhood account and I didn't do anything with it, right? Well, then it literally cut in half. It went to $5. It went to $4. It went to $3. And now I'm in this predicament where I purchased, anywhere from 250 to 500 shares of this stock at what at that point now was, you would say, an all-time high in the high nines, somewhere around there. And I'm stuck with it. And that's very common, right? That does happen. Now, if you're a long-term investor, a lot of times you buy stocks like that and you just leave them alone. You don't care, right? Unless you know something's happening with the company, they're going out of business, you just leave it there and you forget about it. And you come back to it 6 months from now, a year from now, it's in the long-term portfolio. Well, I'm going to admit to you guys that I kind of was like starting to doubt the stock. I started doubting the company. And I started averaging down on my long-term account to try to get it to a point where I could, at least take some profit from it and get back to powder, pull that money out and use it somewhere else or buy something else that I believed had more potential. So here we are, guys, a year later, and BBAI, Big Bear AI, is now back on this uptick. It's back on this run. And now I can tell you that number one, I wish I was still in it as a hold, although I'm also glad I'm not in it as a hold, because remember, I was in the high somewhere around $9. Now it's trading in, $7 range, and I've been day trading it all month and making money from it, but now it's time to get back into it as a long term. And let me explain to you why. So back in about August, September 2024, they actually landed a huge government contract. They landed a contract with the FAA, and it's for, different types of scans. They're actually at specific huge airports. They're at uh, LAX in Los Angeles. They're at JFK in New York, right? So they landed this government contract for biometric scanning and all this, and they're right now getting ready to launch a bunch of this biometric scanning technology in other areas, working through the FAA. And this is a government contract that was worth like $2.4 billion and spread out over 10 years, like about a 10-year contract. So if you think about BBAI and where they're at as this small cap company, right, which mostly institutional investors can't get into right now because of the fact that it, in essence, was less than $5 or now less than $10. So you have basically just retail day traders and local investors that are able to buy in and out of this stock. Well, they just landed their second government contract with the Department of Defense. We know, whether you like him or not, Donald Trump and through Pete Hegseth have extended and increased the 2026 defense spending budgets for purchasing into contracts and increasing our defense, especially with the big Golden Globe, whatever the heck that thing's called, where they're going to learn how to use lasers instead of shooting rockets and missiles into the air to defeat other missiles. And they're now going to use lasers to do that, which is actually very cool. But BigBear.AI, BBAI, reminds me of Palantir. And Palantir was in about the $16, $17 per share range when they started securing government contracts, just like BBAI is doing right now. And if you look at Palantir, and you've heard me talk about Palantir before, I'm in Palantir as a long-term hold. I just got back into Palantir at about $131, and Palantir is going to explode, in my opinion. Palantir is going to explode. So, guys, look at BBAI and do some homework and research on it and understand it a little bit more. And I'm not done sharing with you about it, but just do your own diligence. Good, about BBAI. But at about $7 a share right now, they had an uptick yesterday that launched it up over $8, and this one's not going to stop for a little while. Matter of fact, if you think about it, right, it got up to over the $10 range, and then it dumped. Okay, dramatic, not dumped. It went back down. It retested, and it just stayed stagnant. It stayed flat at that $3 to $5 range. So you would say, like, well, Josh, if I get into it with you now, and I'm in it at $7 or close to $8, why would I not believe this thing is going to drop drastically like that again? Okay, well, there's no guarantees it's not. But they now have these two, basically, Department of Defense, FAA contracts, okay, worth billions of dollars that are backing them. So 10 years, they're not going anywhere, right? Unless something absolutely ridiculous happens, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be solid. And even if they have retests drop down, that's good. You want companies to take breathers. You want stocks to grow, to get high, a lot of interest in it, and then you want to retest because number one, it gives you an opportunity to buy more at the low, buy it at the dip, and have it grow to the high. Now, of course, I always think like a retail day trader mentality, but as a long-term investor, that's what I want to see in a company and in a stock. I want to see retest. I want to see it go down. I want to be able to buy back in lower, and I want to continue to grow my portfolio and increase my shares so that down the road, longer term, as it does explode, does blow up, I'm making more money. Now, I think that it's just not very well known right now. This is not a company that's got a lot of popularity and a lot of interest. And I think once it crosses this $10 mark again, and it gets over $10, again, not financial advice, but I believe it's going over $10. Once it crosses over that $10 resistance level, well, then these institutions are going to, start showing some interest and buy in, and it's going to create a ripple effect where more people are going to want to buy into BBAI, BigBear.AI. So something to think about and something to look at. And obviously, when you compare it, being a defense stock, to something like a Palantir, how could you not be interested, right? Most people right now are looking at Palantir going, dang, I missed the boat on that. And I do agree, you might have missed the $17 boat, the 30, the 50, the $75 boat. I mean, I didn't actually get into Palantir myself until about the $40 range, and I was more day trading it for a while. And then I bought it in the $60 range, and I held it all the way up to about 120 something dollars, sold out so that I could take that profit and go dump it somewhere else in something that was a faster mover, because Palantir is not a very fast mover, right? It doesn't have that extreme volatility, which is great for long term, but not good for short term, not good for day trading. You want things to move so you can get in, get out, or scalp them and make money quick. So Palantir, great play. Guys, BBAI is a great play. I actually am very excited about what I'm seeing in BBAI. And right now, I believe people are trying to basically short squeeze BBAI. So you're going to see the dips. And my recommendation, again, not financial advice, my recommendation, as this is what I'm doing, is I'm going to be buying the dips on BBAI. And listen, if you buy into BBAI and you see it run up and you don't want to hold it long term because you don't have confidence in it yet, then take it as the day trade, okay? When you see profit, take profit. I say all the time, don't overstay your welcome in any stock. If you see profit and you're making money, get out, let it drop down, buy back in, right? That's what I do every single day with APLD. I buy it at the bottom when I see the change from the drop. I believe I'm at that support level or I'm at a new low. I watch the candlesticks, double tweezer bottom, or engulfing candles, dragonfly, and whatever the dojis are, and I buy back in and I let it run up until I feel like, okay, this is a point where it's potentially going to turn. It's what my MACD is telling me, and I get out and I make my money. So you can do that with BBAI right now as well. But I also do believe, and I personally, unfortunately, I can't do anything with it right now after I had this epiphany last night and have finalized some research and felt good about it. I can't get into it until the stock market opens back up, and watching it Sunday night, 8 a.m. into that 24-hour market through the pre-market Monday morning. But I am telling you right now, what Josh is going to do is he is going to take a position on it, and he's going to let it sit and let it go. And I'm probably going to buy, I'm probably going to average in, right? So I'm probably going to buy 100 shares. Right now, it'll cost me, at about $700-800. Going to buy 100 shares. I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to watch what happens. If it drops down, I'm going to probably buy another 25 shares at the low, and then I'm going to see what happens. And I'm going to continue to build my long-term portfolio using BBAI in hopes that one day I'll make a video for you 6 months from now, a year from now, a year and a half, whatever it may be, and say, hey guys, remember that video I made about BBAI when it was $7.17 or $7.40? Guys, it's sitting at $150 a share right now. Can you believe it? It was the next Palantir. Woohoo! We made money. So anyway, I'll stop being a goofball. But that's what I want to share with you about BBAI. My Discord name is Josh Loves APLD. That's what the guys in the Discord that I belong to named me, Josh Loves APLD, and it's true. I may have to ask them to edit it to Josh Loves APLD/BBAI, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, guys, a couple things I wanted to ask you. Number one, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. Please subscribe. I love seeing the new subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. Shout outs to all of you that have recently subscribed to the channel. I promise you I'm going to continue to make these videos as much as I can daily and continue to share with you those best day trade stocks. I want to make money. I want to get wealthy. I want to get rich. And I want you guys to do the same thing. And hopefully we can do it together as a community. Number two, hit that like button for me. It just helps with the algorithms for YouTube to get more videos out to more people so we can continue to grow the channel. Number three, hit the notification bell so you would be notified every time I do upload a new video. And who knows, even if there's 1 minute of a nugget, something that you enjoy, then that was well worth even spending the time making the videos, editing the videos, putting them out there. Oh, and if you've been watching some of my older videos recently, I don't know what's going on with my green screen functions, my editing, but some of those videos, to be quite honest with you, they kind of suck, and it's very disappointing because there's a lot of great information. But I know myself personally, if I go into someone's video and I see like, wow, the editing sucks on it, I'm probably going to move on to another video, so that's pretty disappointing. but working on it to understand my editing equipment and trying to figure it out, the glitches to get it right and make sure it looks nice and clean for you guys. But anyway, the fourth thing I wanted to share with you guys is drop a comment. Hey, let me know where you're at. Where do you live? Where are you coming from? How long have you been trading for? Is there something I'm missing? Is there a stock out there you want me to take a look at? I've got several stocks that I've been tracking and trending for from some of our subscribers. Lottery. There's some really good ones out there, really good ones. And just so hit me with a comment. Let me know if there's something you want me to take a look at. Let me know if there's a video you want me to make. Do you want me to show you how I'm going to build support and resistance levels on any type of stock? Let me know. And I'll make a video on it. I'll make a quick short on it to kind of show you how I do that on my Webull account, maybe even on my TradingView account. But I will do that. And then lastly, figuring out how to put a link in my video descriptions for a Discord that we've created for average Joe day traders. And we're going to start this Discord community and get a bunch of people in there. I know I've been talking about it for a while. And the guys that have been patient, guys and gals that have been patient waiting for it to launch, I just want to make sure we have enough interest before I do that because, guys, there's a lot of work involved in keeping a Discord going. And I want to make sure that, I have enough interest before we launch it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Hit that subscribe button. See you guys on the next one. Josh out. Peace.